Hi guys, welcome to another episode on Finance Unfiltered. I'm your host, Masi Dube. Today we have a guest, founder at Taita, all the way from Taita. Karibu sana Sharon. Introduce yourself. Here's your camera.
Okay. Hi, Masi.
Hi.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, pleasure.
I'm
Thank you for
humbled.
showing up.
Thank you. I've been wondering, hey, Masi amekuja sana enda kuambia Masi niji ado. But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, welcome. What do you do?
Well, I'm almost a jack of all trades.
Okay.
But the main thing that I do, I teach.
Okay.
I teach kids, I teach adults, I teach everyone. Like,
Which subjects?
well, that's limiting. I'm currently teaching people on play.
Okay.
Playful learning, playful parenting, playful working. And I also teach kids French.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, she's the founder of French Konect, and almost an NGO. So, guys, can you tell us more about French Connect?
well, French Konect is a passion project. It's
Okay.
a baby that I've hidden for like 2 years and 8 months.
Okay.
It started in 2023. And right now, it's getting a lot of attention, as it should.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready.
Okay.
It's been a bit overwhelming. French Connect started from a point of grief, actually. I loved French a lot growing up. My dad speaks French, and he's the one who introduced me to French, and he has all these francophone friends.
Oh, wow.
So there's an early exposure on that.
Yeah.
But the French Connect specifically is the way I grieve my brother. I had my brother, he's called Joseph. He's younger than me.
Okay.
He loved French too. When I was going to campus, I got a letter to do French, Bachelor of Arts, French and IT. So at some point I was wondering, I've never heard of this course before. Mom was a bit skeptical about it. And then now my brother was going to Form 1 in my first year's academy.
Yeah.
And when he got there,
Yeah.
he started learning French. And I was excited. There's someone else in the family who was, he was learning French and stuff. And so fast forward, I'm about to go home. It's first semester.
Yeah.
For him, it's first term.
Yeah.
No, for him, it's second term thereabout. And I got to Maseno University, and it's the only university with a completely French resource center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I was so excited. Like, there are so many books there. There's so many resources. It's something that we hadn't seen before, like storybooks, audio. Like, you're going to a computer and it's speaking in French. And so I was excited. I was sharing with him all these experiences. And we talk over the phone and we agree. My last exam is on Monday. And tutamit mwembe tayari. He used to pick me up with dad. And I've collected all these materials that we're going to share with him. I've borrowed some books from the research center. And you remember those two USB cables?
Yeah.
Those not cables, the USB drives, zile unaweka kwa simu hivi.
Yeah.
And the microchips, zile memory card.
Yeah.
So I've collected like at least 64 GB of data.
What?
And I'm going to share with my brother. And then I go to the exam room. My phone was ringing, and that can be a disciplinary,
Yeah. Yes.
in campus. Yeah. So after leaving the exam room, I get a text. Just say I'm at accident from one of my cousins, my uncle. Those uncles when you're called 4 years younger than you or 10 years younger than you. Yeah. So, and I'm a bit unsettled. My phone is not working at this point. I try calling. I can't get through. I can't hear people. Like, this is just a problem somewhere that I don't understand. So I go to my friend's place and I'm scrolling through Facebook. And I see RIP with my brother's name on it. And what do you do? That's how I learned my brother was dead. He had succumbed to his injuries. he was from school actually. He was from picking his report form. He was a genius. He had done mock. He was in Form 1, yeah. He had done mock and he had gotten a B+.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine, my
Yeah.
brother was a genius and I really missed him. So a year later, after the funeral and everything, I get a stroke, and recovery is a bit slow. It's a bit fast on other things, and when I started, functioning normally, I thought I had healed, until in 2003 I joined an organization called Teach for Kenya. I went to Mkuruka Ruben, and then I started teaching there, and the situations on the ground, it's not Kenya that I know.
Yeah.
There are kids there who don't have the basics that we think we are lacking.
Yeah.
And it starts dawning on me. And I have a very tough breakdown. And my coach tells me, have you ever thought of doing, therapy, like mental health kind of things? And for me, that was something that I've always run away from. Like, you mean I'm going to talk to a shrink about my problems? Let me sit with them. Let me figure them out, And then I go. And somewhere along the way, she asks me, did you ever grieve your brother? And I realize, no, I did not. It's something that I'd never even accepted. I knew he was not around anymore. I was the one who had put away his things after everyone had left. And, there's so many things behind grief that people don't see.
Yeah.
Let's say the mess that happened during the accident. You have to pick the bag, you have to pick the clothes, you have to put away the things. Nobody knows who does that, but someone does, and I did that for my brother. And that was what I did actually, and moved on, like nothing really happened. And I sit with myself and I realize the only connector I had with my brother was French, that was outside every other person. Like, if it's football, there's my dad, there's everyone else who's doing French. But there's one thing that me and him were talking on a daily, on a regular, and that was French, and that's the birth of French Konect. So I have all these resources that I gathered. The initial ones are lost. I don't even know where they went. Somewhere along the mayhem, they got lost. But I'm here, and I have French, and I can give French to someone who doesn't have anyone coming. I'm going to someone who's not there to receive me, and there's someone waiting for someone who's not coming. Who best than these two people? Yeah.
Okay, have you learned French in school, or whatever your dad did was what you have known?
No, my dad introduced me to French early on. And then in primary, I went to Tendacare.
Oh, okay.
And
Which branch?
Coma, the main one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
When was that?
next
Because
to
I've
Infield.
also been there.
Quite a while ago.
Okay.
I'm ancient.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. So we did. That's where I started French, like basically pedagogically, on book and paper. And then something happened, and we had to travel to Taita, and I went to Taita and forgot everything that French was.
Okay.
And then I go to Forces Academy in high school. And in Form 2, guess who's coming to introduce French again in my Forces Academy, Mombasa? My dad. And there's no way I'm going on doing all these other subjects without doing French. And so we talked to the principal, and I tell him, I know Form 1 sijafanya French, but in Form 2, I can do Form 1 and Form 2 and finish it.
Okay.
And guess what? My dad agreed.
Yeah.
And that's how I left home science and started French. And I did French up to Form 4. Then in campus, I did Bachelor of Arts, French and IT, which is basically doing everything in French. And there's a lot of French, yeah. And that's how I learned French.
Okay.
Academically.
Okay. Now, how do you now run your French Konect?
It's mostly on bootstrapping. Like I said, I had hidden him like a baby, like for a very long time.
Okay.
I teach French in schools.
Okay.
Not very many schools. Started with Better Life Education Center. It's a community center in Mkuruka Ruben. We started with grade 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we integrated it into the normal classroom routines. But this year I've expanded to a new public school, and I'm doing it as a club. So I'm not just teaching French. We're using French as a tool to mentor kids. There's a lot of exposure program, and they get to learn from real francophone people. Like my kids, I can boast this on air. Have met at least people from at least 10 different countries, including Haiti and Senegal, and name them.
Okay.
And that's how we learn French. So they are not just learning a language, they are getting culturally integrated, they're getting exposure globally, and they're happy.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to really ask. Do you think that them learning French, or I can see you majoring mostly on informal settlements like Mukuru kwa Ruben, that's what I have heard you say. Do you think like them learning French will better them economically, now that we're talking of finance? In what ways will they be better economically, maybe?
Well, French in an Anglophone country is something that people don't understand. And
Anglophone.
an Anglophone country is a country that speaks English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they will have Francophone,
Yeah.
then Anglophone.
Okay.
Well, French in an Anglophone country is something that people don't understand. There's little local relevance on it.
Okay.
But I'm here because I learned French.
Okay.
I'm basically starting an organization because I learned French. Yeah. So French opens ways in ways that you cannot, really put on paper, and ways that you can put on paper. There's a way that you get exposed. There's a way that your audience expands. You're not just speaking to the Anglophone people, you're also speaking to the Francophone people. And then economically, for the children in the informal settlements, French is something that is clustered to the elite. You don't really expect a child in Mukuru Caribbean to afford like French classes. Like for me, for you to sit with me for an hour to actually learn French, that's gonna cost you. And for the kids in Mukuru Caribbean, they're barely hanging on to what they have. They just want to get the next meal. And that divide has brought a bigger divide, when you look at it it has a compounding effect, yeah. So in trying to bridge that inequality gap, I give them something that will help them. Even if it's not connecting locally, they can connect globally. And that is something beautiful. They can be teachers, they can start their own podcasts, they can, be dancers. Mkuru people love dancing and talent and everything. They can, the footballers I have in my group, they can, instead of just thinking of playing for Harambee Stars, they can expand their horizons. So cumulatively, French will actually work on the economic, growth and what do you call it? Opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you decide that with your French, and I mean, you can get a lot of money with French. What made you decide that, you know what, I'm not going to go to this side, I'm going to go to this side?
Well, there's a need.
Okay.
I believe the greatest investment you can make is on people. When you invest in people, there's no day that you'll go bankrupt. Just have to know how to do it. And while I am trying to, get myself to a place of financial freedom, why not hold someone else's hand?
Okay.
Why don't I give back? And there is a point in life where you get and living for yourself doesn't make sense anymore, and you really have to live for others. And that's why I focus more on social enterprises instead of purely economic and capital, driven initiatives. They are there, of course, but they are not the major ones.
Okay.
Let me give back.
Okay, you talk of financial freedom. What does now financial freedom sound like for you?
Well, can I answer okay, can I answer my age? Let's see. Financial freedom goes from slow mornings,
Okay.
having options,
Okay.
and being able to help. When my mom calls me and she tells me I have a headache, I don't need to think, do I send her this money or do I have to think of, where do I borrow? There's something about financial freedom that makes you sit with peace with yourself. And that, for me, that's what I'm looking for. I don't need to have a surplus. I don't need to have like a V8. Well, if it comes, let it come. But just being able to provide the basics. If my dad needs to get to the office, or needs to visit his friend, I don't need to start thinking, where do I get the money from? You know, the basic choices that you have on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think you're talking so much on my mother, my father. Yeah. And I find it different because for you, you're talking from a point of I want to help them. And for others, it will look like it's a form of black tax. Yeah. Uh, do you have like experiences on a time when you you felt like you needed to help your parents financially and you didn't, and you weren't able to?
Yes.
Okay.
Many times. Like,
Okay. Is the when was that when it really hit you that actually I can't really help them here?
there was a time I was a bit sick. I didn't tell them.
Okay.
Again, I'm a very independent child, and I grew up to be that way,
Okay.
despite common assumptions. So there was a time I'm really holding on to myself. Like, I'm really, really struggling to get medications and to get myself to the hospital, and have to think, do I do this? Do I do that? And then I get a call from home, and someone else needs the money that I'm planning for to do something. And that's when it actually hit me.
Yeah.
And you can't, of course, you didn't tell them you're sick, so you can't tell them I'm not giving because I'm sick. You have to think and think and think and think. And in thinking, you realize, no, I'm not where I want to be.
Okay.
And sometimes you really feel angry because you want them to be the one supporting you.
Yeah.
But you have to get a balance on this anger that I'm feeling. Where is it coming from? What's the real source? If they had it, they wouldn't have asked. And in every African family, even if your parents can support you, you have to pay black tax.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think learning another language is like a form of wealth?
Yes, it is.
How?
Um, it's a social capital. It's a cultural capital that you rarely get. People talk a lot about inclusivity in so many things. But when you're learning a foreign language, when you're learning any other language, it comes with culture. You can't separate language with culture. And French is a very widely spoken language that has a very rich culture. And so including it in English, with English and other local languages and dialects, you find yourself at a place of tolerance. And in this age where AI is doing everything for us, one of the skills that are going to be missing are the social skills.
Okay.
And you see, when you look at it from that angle, you realize that it's actually an investment, long term and short term. So you get the language, you widen your horizons, you get the culture, you become a bit more tolerable, you understand people, and you also learn the social skills that are missing in our day-to-day lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Some people say learning another language is for the elite and the rich kids. Do you agree with that?
Not at all.
Why?
I was never a rich kid.
Okay.
I have French. I'm learning German through French.
Oh,
So-
you're learning German.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not for the rich kid.
Okay. If maybe a kid right now was learning French, what are some of the jobs, maybe the opportunities they will get in the near future?
I think the future of work is evolving a lot. There's a lot of adaptability around it. Normally, I'd tell you the traditional jobs that we think of: teaching, tourism, hospitality. But nowadays, there are so many jobs which are evolving: content creation, music. So I think when you learn something, it's up to you to do with it what you want to do with it. French is, I'm giving you a tool of empowerment.
Okay.
What do you do with it? It's a sword in your hand. You
Yeah.
have all the options. You
Yeah.
have the world at your
Yeah.
feet. Because in every country you go, they're either speaking French or English. Even the Arab countries, like, they'll speak Arab and they'll speak French. They'll speak Arab and they'll speak English. So
Now let's shift to finances. Growing up, how did you see your parents handle money, or did they talk about it openly? Did they tell you about what is really going on?
I come from a very reserved family. And then I was raised by my mom's family, which are also very reserved. And I've interacted I've interacted well with my dad's family, my dad's side of the family. What I can say is my parents come from very wealthy parents. So there's that. And growing up, I never thought of money as something to pay attention to. But I always wondered how my mom would plan her things. We went to school. She went to school. We never lacked anything. And so there's a lot of planning that she does. There's a lot of projects that she starts. And my mom is more of a social entrepreneur. She's also a founder. She founded an ECD center in Taita.
Okay.
And I get the best from her.
Okay.
And my dad was more open with money. I remember when I was staying with him, he'd get money, put it on the table when his salary came, and then he'd tell you, what do you need? What does this house need? And then he'd give it to you, so you have to plan.
Wow.
So I started learning household responsibilities from a young age, and Dad would always tell me, make sure you have a surplus. And that was a lesson that I hadn't fully understood until I grew up and I understood why you need a surplus for your savings, of course, and other things and emergencies. So that planning in itself, where you have to make sure everything that's needed is there, and you have to also make sure that you have some money left. So there's a lot of planning and budgeting there. And that's how I learned my first money lessons.
Okay. Is there any financial mistake you've made through? Is there any financial mistake you've made so far?
Yes.
And has it costed you so much?
Yes, and I'm underfoot. I've invested a lot in people. Like, I'm a social entrepreneur, I'm an empath by nature. So I invest a lot in people. And for me, people are tied to my money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where?
So
Guys.
investing in people for longer than I should have.
Okay.
That's my biggest mistake. And it has costed me so much, so many times. I think, like my dad says, you never learn. Yeah. So I've worked with employees before. I'm not saying like I pay like salaries or something, but the ones you have who are running certain things for you. And sometimes you try to invest in people and you ignore the red flags that are there. And in business, and when you're working with capital, you are supposed to leave your feelings out. It's the books that are supposed to be talking.
Okay.
Yeah, so overlooking the books and thinking that this is a person, looking at him as a person is different from looking at what's going on with the books. And that kind of investment and that kind of a balance has really costed me.
Like, how do you manage? Like, are you employed?
Yes, I'm employed full time.
Okay. I wanted to ask, how do you manage yourself and the business in itself?
Well, a lot of sleepless nights.
Okay.
A lot of times where you're sitting and you're wondering, did I need to make that kind of a choice that I made?
Okay.
And there's a lot of sacrifice and a lot of whys. But most importantly, getting that why.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get that why, going without sleep for like a week will not matter, because when you finally start getting sleep, you will. So I work 5 days a week, and my projects run 5 days a week. So they are tied to the weekdays. The others which are on the weekends, they're not very much affected. So I have people who are assisting me. So like currently with French Connect, I have a lady called Joy. She's very hands-on. She's helping me in delivering content. And then also French is very tricky because you need someone who can speak the language.
Yeah.
And then I maximize on community.
Okay.
Community is power, always. So in every school that I work in, I have system teachers who are there on the ground who will help me with mobilizing for parents, teachers, if there's need for any any activity. I'll just need to communicate with them. And so when I'm getting there, I don't start from scratch. There's also the school administration. We have a very good relationship with the ones I'm working with, and they're very supportive. And that helps a lot. So one of my major strengths is community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as you work with people and people are money, the French Connect requires money. How do you run it?
I bootstrap.
Okay, the way you,
So mostly, it's what I'm saving on that is going in there. Capital is what I have. Like I said, I had really, really hidden it because from where it's coming from,
yeah.
and now I've started getting well wishers who are, they help you. Like recently, I was stuck. I needed to pay people. I needed to buy certain resources, certain equipment and stuff. And since I'm alone, I couldn't handle it with my own self.
Yeah.
But somehow, someone came through and they footed the bill.
Oh, wow.
So that's how we've been managing for the time we've been working. And then also parents, they come in, they support. So sometimes if we have, maybe it's an academic trip, they contribute maybe half of the price. I talk to a partner, maybe who are people who are working in transport, and they give me a cut, and then partnerships, basically. But most of the money that goes into French Connect comes from my pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
But we're working on, finding a way of, getting donors and funders, because it's growing. It's also taking on the shape of ed tech.
Okay.
There's no me without tech, and there's no French without tech when it comes to us. So there's a lot of partnerships around, and we've gotten like our first donors who have expressed interest.
Okay.
And I'm a bit cautious, of course, but we're still working around it, and that's how we function. So basically, it's going towards the sides of a non-profit. I wouldn't want to ask the kids for any kind of cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as a parent, some parents don't think French is really an investment. How do you convince them? Let's say, how do you convince them that French is really something?
Well, I think they are right when they think French is not an investment.
Okay.
And trying to convince them, you might pull them in, give them expectations and things that you cannot deliver.
Okay.
So what I do mostly is I leave it.
Okay.
I get to be the role model. I get to be the person who's speaking French.
Okay.
When I sit and speak French with foreigners, some have a hard time believing that I learned my French in Kenya.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I show them, I live it. When I get parents who are really struggling to make ends meet for their children, and I'm trying to mentor their children through French, and they feel like it's a waste of time, I just have to show them, like, do you know that if your child spoke French, they could do 1, 2, 3. I come in with mentors, people who have done French before, and there's quite a growing population on professionals who coming from the low income setups did French and now they're living abroad. So I try to show them that French can be an asset to you. There's someone who's done French and they don't even remember a word in French. So if you believe French is not an investment, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if you believe it is, you're also right.
You're also right.
Okay.
It's all about the mentality. Like I said, it's an empowerment tool.
Okay.
I give it to you. If you see it's useful, run with it.
Okay. You talked of ed tech. How do you integrate French with AI? AI is almost running the world. How do you integrate AI with French?
Well, that's a very exciting question.
Yeah.
I love AI.
Oh,
I love
okay.
AI. Yeah. So number one, what I've been trying to work on that I'm really currently stuck on something, it's a chatbot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, creating a chatbot customized for kids because I work with kids between age 10 and 16. That's roughly from grade 4 to grade 8. And when they are not with me, they need to learn French. There are times when I can't consistently be with them. So I'm working on a way to have them have a friend on their phone that if they text back, and it is integrating text to speech. So you see, like Talking Tom, where you can talk
Yeah,
and then it
yeah.
responds.
Yeah.
It's called Mimi the chatbot. It's
Okay.
yet to
Mimi the chatbot. Okay.
yeah, it's yet to be launched. We're still working on several other factors behind, and of course, resources are also a bit tight on that. We're also working on a game, gamifying it, so you get to win tricks from the game. You get from one level to another. You learn French as you go. You get your superhero sidekick. You feed them, and then
Okay.
you keep on growing. So as you're playing the game, you're learning French.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's customized for kids. We're still on the initial, I think it's mid-level productions. There are places where we are stuck a bit with my partner on that.
Okay.
And if anyone out there is good with games, they can reach out. But yeah, that's how we are integrating it. And then in the classroom, wow, there's a lot. We edit images, we create images. You know, there's little to no content on African kids. So sometimes when you want to write a story for French for the kids, and you are looking for a little girl who's learning French, and you can't find them on the internet, I just have to go to GPT-5 and tell it, generate for me a girl learning French, just do
Yeah.
the prompt well.
Okay.
And in no time, they're seeing a little girl that has their skin, their kinky hair,
Yeah.
in a setup that is, for lack of a better word, in the informal settlement, and they're learning French, and they have a booklet in Francais.
Oh,
And
okay.
the little how do you call it? The chip thrills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What are some of the financial challenges you faced when you were starting out? I mean, how did you start out? I mean, starting out is the hardest part.
True.
What are some of the mostly financial challenges you faced?
Um, the major financial strain is when you choose to go non-profit and you need profit to make things run. Yo.
Repeat. You have to say that in French. Say that in French.
Please forgive me, I'll give you another one in French.
Okay.
Yeah, like you have to know your why.
Yeah.
So starting off, there are times when I'd be so spent out,
Okay.
take out my savings, call dad, call mom, ask for money for this and this. And at first they didn't understand, you're employed. You and it's not like a small job you're
Yeah.
doing. You are alone.
Yeah.
And then my dad is so big on, I'm the one to help you. So he does send me money as much as I get my own salary. And he's asking, Sinilikutumia juzi, what happened to it? I'm like, there were kids, they came to class, they told me they didn't have food, and I had to look for Jipawa or something to get them to eat, and they're wondering, who are these kids you're talking about, yeah? Until later on, they started seeing photos, and then they don't know the part of where I'm connecting this. This is my personal grief story.
Yeah.
And at first, it was a bit hard to explain even to people. I didn't understand it myself. And giving too much. So at that time, you're giving, you can't get profit from this. And there are times you'd be told, why don't you sell these packages and get money for this?
Yeah.
It's easy when you come on board. I'm going to give you at a subsidized price, and then you're learning French, maybe level 1 or A1 to A2. Then, but it didn't sit well with me. And that was the hardest part of starting off, where you're not only giving money, but you're also giving yourself. And financially, empty pockets are empty pockets.
Okay. Now, what is your advice to someone who has that passion project? Who they want to start out and they don't have the money.
Just start.
How? What do you mean start? And I don't have the money. Please, I don't even have those savings. How do you tell me just start?
When I started French Konect, I started it as a classroom subject.
Okay.
There is the by then it was the CBC, now it's CBE. They have a curriculum for grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. By then it was only grade 4 and grade 5 because that was when CBC was coming in. And I went to that curriculum, did a lesson plan. A good thing where I was working, I had been trained. I'm not a trained teacher. So, and AI comes in there. So you give it and then it generates for you. So I had like a lesson plan and I had like 3 or 4, levels. 3 or 4, like day 1 looks like this, day 2, day 3, day 4. And then I did a schemes of work. One of the hardest things to do. I don't know how teachers do them. And then I talked to the administrator of the school that I was in. And they were open. So again, there was a lot of support. And then I started going to school. Just going to school. I have one lesson, it's 30 minutes, and then I teach. And then from there now, again, the momentum. So when I say start, where are you? At that time, I was working in an NGO that was focusing on schools. Okay. Those were my audience. I wanted to reach to kids. I was already there. God had already placed me where I was supposed to be. So if you have a passion project, you're already placed where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Just look within. Don't look outside. Look within and start.
Motivation speaking is
No.
kind of not. Okay. On a light note.
Yeah, true.
Okay. How do you keep going even when the money is not enough or the money is not there? Empty pockets is empty pockets.
Empty pockets.
How
empty
do you
pockets.
keep going? I mean, how do you wake up next and you say, I'm still going on in that project?
Can I be vulnerable?
Uh-huh.
I cry.
Okay.
Well, I cry before I figure it out.
Oh, okay.
I cry a lot.
Okay.
There are times when the only thing you can do is just sit still there. If you know why you started it in the first place, that why will carry you through.
Okay.
There was a time early this year, I thought, it's been 2 years already. My kids speak French. Even the least active in the group has already met with people from like 7 different African and European Francophone speaking countries.
Okay.
Francophone countries, sorry. And I think I've done enough. I took them to for academic trips, exposure trips, and they felt like it's time to stop. Okay. I didn't sit with that thought for like the whole night. I woke up at night, sat, opened my laptop, and then started re-strategizing again. Oh, okay. So sometimes it's your passion and your why that pulls you through. And again, having a support system. Yeah. Like for me, I think my parents have been quite the support system. And I have friends who have been really there for me. They push me. And like recently, I was sitting in the office. I was tired. I was way below the weather, if there's something like that. And my friend came in and she said, we were supposed to have a meeting on French Konect. What happened? And then I told them, I'm not feeling very well. This, that. Yes, because now you're supposed to even work double, So you're working here and you also need to work for French Konect. So you have no time for that. And they're not saying it from a point of, motivation or nini. They know me. They know when I tell them I'm down, they know I'm down. Yeah. But they also need to tell me that truth. Yeah. So sometimes you need to have those people around you. So for me, I have like 3 people who call me out. Anytime they feel I'm lagging or I'm slacking, they call me out. And when I'm down, they're there with me. So those are the systems that actually keep you working, keep you moving, not necessarily income or anything. Because sometimes you can have that money, and that's when you don't even have the energy to go on.
Okay, sometimes you can have the money and are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, now that your organization is an NGO, do you feel like there are women face, not to be biased, but do you feel like women face more challenges trying to raise money for projects than men?
I think women are disadvantaged on all levels.
Oh,
And I'm not saying it from a feminist point of view
yeah.
or anything. Like on a day to day, if there are no buses or there are no cars on the station, I stand a better chance getting an Uber than standing on that line, because when that one bus comes, I'll be pushed and shoved away. I don't have the strength to fight for myself. For like 30 days a man is okay to walk. Biologically speaking, I have like 17 days of that month where I don't even know where I stand. I don't even know whether I want to eat or I want to cry. There are days where I feel like I don't want to think. There are days I feel like I can't even move. So there are so many things that disadvantage women. But that's not to say that women are not advantaged. I feel like women have the best opportunities that this world has to offer. Because one, they're very calm. Like, from a woman's point of view, I feel that my greatest power has not been for me being aggressive, but rather just staying in my position and aligning myself to what matters to me. Because it depends, what opportunities am I really looking for? If I need funding, I don't need to go and start standing at archives and shouting and try to fundraise. That would work against me. I stand a better chance just working with my kids. Someone will come and see my work.
Okay.
Like there's something about attracting what you have, and energy never lies. So I feel like for us women, we have an advantage where we can be easily centered towards what we like. So it's there's two sides to that coin, where depending on what you're looking for and how you're doing it, you're automatically disadvantaged. And there's a way where if you do it this way, I mean, you attract. And I think that's the superpower for women. Just sitting in your feminine energy and attracting. You'll get what you need.
Okay. Okay, sitting in your power and attracting that energy, you'll get what you need. What is that one financial mistake you've made and it has costed you? First of all, okay, before we go there, do your friends influence how you use your money in any way?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's the kind of pressure that comes with friends.
Yeah.
I have friends who are driving.
Oh.
The most I've come to a car is a
Are
driving
they male?
license, female.
Okay.
There I have some really strong women in my circles.
Okay.
So there's that pressure that comes with you wanting to spend your money and wanting to level up to their level.
Yeah.
But again, no, because I think I'm very grounded.
Okay.
I had my independence from a very young age. By the time I was in high school, I was living alone. And
Ooh.
that made me realize what works and what doesn't. And going with the crowd really doesn't work.
Okay.
So I've really managed to ground myself, especially when it comes to things I can't afford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking of things you can't afford. Okay. What is that one financial mistake you made earlier on, and you know right now that you would have done better if.
Well, This is something I was sitting with it, something I was reflecting on last night.
Okay.
Separating the money set aside for French Connect and money that I'm using on a daily.
Okay.
I feel like just because it was me running the project from start to finish, it doesn't mean that I didn't have to separate those finances. When you're doing anything that's not personal, and by personal I mean business and pleasure. By pleasure I mean you as a person.
Yeah.
You need to separate those funds. So my greatest mistake was that, where if I've decided maybe this month there's this money set aside for this project, I'm still including it in my daily expenditures. It's not separated.
Okay.
So separating your finances is very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you now working on that, or
Yes. Yes, definitely.
do you have the discipline? I mean, it takes a lot of discipline. How do you build that discipline?
Of
Now you're deciding, let me separate.
well,
But it's something you're working on. Let's say it's
well,
something you're
the
working
discipline is there. Accountabilities. I'm so big on accountability, and when I wasn't able to account for what I had spent on from 2023, why am I saying 2023? From 2023 to 2025,
on. Yeah.
it hit me.
Okay.
There needs to be a system around it.
Okay.
And so there's no like building what is it called? There's no like building a discipline around it. Nikina kuramba hadi unaamua. You either sit with your mistakes or you learn from them.
Like kuna vitu zingine tu experience tu ndo the best teacher.
Yeah, this is me on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what ways do you think French Connect, through children learning French, will help them become maybe future leaders in maybe trade or globally?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. I could spend the whole day talking about that. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me give you an example. There's this time we were at Ngong Forest Sanctuary. I took my kids for an exposure trip with another French school around that is basically for foreigners, but they're also teaching locals French.
Okay.
And I got there, and one of my kids, I call them my kids, one of my kids tells me, Cha, I've never seen this many trees in one place. Okay. And I was like, wow, okay. And we go on to talking, we're hiking in the forest, and we're scared of hyenas and all these other animals we've been told that live there. And she tells me, teacher, me, I'll plant trees. I mean, that's already impact.
Yeah.
That person, and they're very good in taking care of the classroom.
Okay.
There's a project we led. Like I said, I use French as a tool for mentorship. So there's a project we ran through French Connect that's called Literacy Through Leadership. And we were learning leadership skills through literacy activities. And one of the activities we were doing was animations, And we were doing, planning and goal setting. And by the end of that session, most of my children knew what I do best, what I need to learn on. And they had a plan already set for the next term. Of course, they need a lot of reinforcement. They need a lot of support in that. But for me, a 10-year-old telling me, teacher, I'm not good at English. But you know what? I'm so good at dancing. I'll stop dancing and I'll start listening to stories more, because I encourage them for audio and other things. I'm not just fixed on book, pen and paper.
Yeah.
And that's already impact. If that child grows like that, 10, 20 years from now, they're not on the same level with someone who didn't go through that, that system, that process.
Okay. I'm already sold to what you're doing. You are so passionate
Please
about it.
come on board. I'm looking for donors.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm moved.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, what is that one financial? Is there financial literacy in what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we learn about taxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is one of the things that has come up. Not from a personal point of view,
Yeah.
But from what's happening, because we work on trends in the market,
Yeah.
what's going on, and kids have questions. Hey, kids have questions.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a topic in grade 4 in their English book
Yeah.
titled money.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and that is in English. So you're telling stories, and they have to identify money. This is 50 bob. These are the animals in 50 bob. This is that. And so in French, they wonder why you're not talking about shillings. You're talking about maybe franc, or maybe you're talking about dollar or euro, And you have to tell them these are the currencies that are being used in these countries.
Okay.
And so financial literacy comes in that. And they get to ask questions. Teacher, we're supposed to do this. How much money are we supposed to give? And then they ask, if we do this, like right now, we are trying to fundraise for a whiteboard. Then I told them, I have like 20 kids. And then I told them, if you bring 50-50, you bring 50 and then the rest I'll add for you, the way the English we speak.
Yeah.
And then they calculate it and then they tell you, but teacher, if the whiteboard is going to cost this money, then you're supposed to give us this money, then us you're giving you this money. But this money is a lot. Can't we just add and give you maybe, we start bringing 5, They have those jars where they can changa. Like already they have those basics. And for a child to start thinking, if I'm giving this is what I'm getting, I don't have to imagine that they'll start thinking crypto, they're starting to think bonds and, but for them, that conversation in itself is a responsibility for them.
Okay.
So that is also something that they are working on. And it's something that makes me proud of them because I see them growing holistically. I didn't have those kinds of conversations with my teacher.
Yeah.
My teacher just gave me homework, made sure I went home well.
Yeah.
And if I was playing around and I was left by the bus, he was in trouble, she was in trouble. If I didn't do homework, she was there to beat me up. Like having this conversation, it's a game changer for our children nowadays. We didn't have that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Are you planning on expanding? I mean, Mukuru should not just be the one experiencing this. There is other places, not to mention names. Are you planning on expanding in any way?
Yes, I
Okay.
want French Konect to outlive me. Like, it's not just for me, it's for every child out there who wants to learn French and they can't learn French. Please come on board, don't stay alone, reach out.
Okay.
But one of the things that, there's several factors to that. Number one, free is not always appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to find a system that works. While you're giving it for free, you have to make sure it's making impact and it's going to the right people.
Okay.
So when a child comes on board, there's a lot of parental engagement involved. And that is something that we have not been able to work on as a country in the education space. Everyone is thinking about either the teacher or the student. Nobody's talking about the parent who's bringing school fees on board. Nobody's talking about that parent who's bringing their child hungry to school. They're just talking about parental engagement and all these things. So for me, that is one of the things that I'm really, really trying to work on. That is the price you pay for learning French for free. You have to be involved with your child.
Okay.
I have to bring you on board and have conversations with you. And something else is resources on our part. We don't want to bite more than we can chew. Currently, at our community center, the one that has been running for over 2 years, we have 65 students. 75 was last year. We have 65 children. That's a big number, given that both me and the lady we're working on, Joy, we're also on full-time employment. So we are splitting between times. And then the public school that I'm in, we have roughly 4,000 students. I've only managed to reach out to 40 students. So that's like 1% of the school.
Yeah.
There's need. And resources are not easy to come by. And I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it. I have to see them speaking the language. I have to see lives changed. I have to see the impact. So, yes, I'm planning on scaling. I want to get to a GIA. Like, I can't imagine someone speaking Somali and they are speaking French. And there are Somalis say it's very good for French. So I'm planning on working towards that. But systemic growth, organic growth, I don't want to, go beyond your means.
Yeah.
I'm also realizing that this is very personal and this is human invested capital. So you also need to find people who are human invested,
Yeah.
not just people who are coming on board for money.
People who are sold to your vision.
Yes.
Okay.
And people who are willing to work with children in the informal settlements.
Okay.
So if someone is coming on board, maybe in terms of capital or in terms of resources or in terms of just donations in kind, like recently we got a book donation from the French Trade Associations in collaboration with the French Embassy. And that was a big win for me because, yes, you're coming in, you're not able to maybe provide the day-to-day, help and assistance, but you brought me books. Those books are going to help me in the day-to-day activities. So there's that, getting people who can come on board, help you to get the resources, people who are coming in as human resources, and just subject matter experts that you can actually ideate and thought partner with. So that's quite a big scope that you don't just jump in. Before you get to the children, there's a lot of work that you're doing on the background before you can do anything. So expansion is our goal, but the strategy behind it, now that's the real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. To a child, or let's say a teenager, who is, what is that one? Who hasn't interacted with you or money? Is there any lesson that one lesson you would want the child to know, or yeah, because I can see you're very invested in kids, so I'm not even speaking to right now to
To
adults.
Well, I think my passion is on kids. Yes, I work with adults a lot, but yes, the kids part comes out. Kids are the safest place to be. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have to worry whether my dress has a toe, has a tear or something.
Yeah.
With kids, but with adults, you have to be a bit more.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, But for a child or any kid out there who's looking at this episode and wondering why finance, money is good.
Yeah.
Money is very good.
Yeah.
Make money your friend.
Yeah.
Learn how to earn it.
Okay.
And I mean earn it. Underline earn it.
Yeah. And it.
Earn it the right way.
Yeah.
There are two forces in this world. Whether you believe in God or you don't, there are two forces that are influencing you. There's the good and the bad. You can say there's a black dog and there's a white dog. Every one of these comes with their benefits.
Yeah.
And sometimes the hook is money.
Yeah.
So if you're growing up and you're wondering the economy is crashing, this is going down, how do I even ever make it? Do the right thing the right way and learn to earn what you want to use. If you need something, earn it. Even at home, you need a pencil. That's not your parents' job to give you the pencil. Yes, it's their responsibilities, and we're talking about rights and all these things. But how do you actually earn it? Is it by being polite? Is it by being respectful to them? You have to transact. Kitu ya bure ni salamu tu. So even from that point where you're being a child,
Yeah.
we can complain about black tax, but yes, there's a way it has been exploited. But if we were taught from a young age how to earn, we wouldn't be talking about black tax at this point. Okay. Yeah. So if you're a child, learn to earn what you need.
Yeah.
And do it under the influence of the white dog.
Yeah. Okay. What advice would you give your younger self? Okay, before we go there, yeah, if you were, who would you turn out to be if you were not the founder of French Konect?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What will you be doing minus the French Konect? Have you ever thought of that? Something that will be giving you money. Yeah.
Well, where do we start from? Something that I would be doing. I'd be a full-time programmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just be developing games and playing them in between projects and telling clients, kidogo tu, manage nikicheza game hapo.
Okay, what is that one advice you feel you will tell your younger self?
Oh, I think I'd tell her. Oh, do I have to look at the camera?
Yeah, look at the
Okay. So you don't have to worry about anything. Everything will turn out okay. You're right where you need to be. So
Yeah.
worrying was futile.
Okay. Uh, I want you to say the words, but in French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
To your audience in France, in Franco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Les francophonies. Les francophones. Uh-huh. Okay, so what do I say? Okay.
You didn't see that
I
coming.
didn't see that coming.
But you have to say. You have to
I
say.
have to say it in French.
Yeah.
Ok, merci beaucoup. J'aime bien le français et j'aime les croissants.
Oh, it's just that short.
Um,
Or just now that we can't hear you. You just...
I've
Okay.
told them something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. How can listeners find you? Maybe they support you, or just find you. Maybe they want to learn French. Who knows? I'm interested in learning French. Who knows? How can they? Do you have like a space or something?
Well, I think they can reach me through mobile.
Okay.
We're still trying to find the right handles for our socials.
Okay.
And again, like I said, I'm not a very extroverted person, and so French Konect has not always been that extroverted.
Okay.
So that's also a tie that I'm seeing when it comes to what I'm doing and my personality that I need to separate.
Okay.
But anyone who wants to reach me, they can reach me through Mercy on this Finance Unfiltered. She has my contact.
Okay.
And she can also share my contact somewhere there.
Yeah. In case you need, guys, comment. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do the thing.
Yeah. And again, also, I'm a bit cautious on sharing it on the socials, but there is a number I'll share with you that we use for our office and official stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that's it for today. Thank you for staying till here. See you in our next episode. Bye.